Hello, hi everyone. This is the creative live video with MJ, me from Mad Jessie, and we're going to be making some friendship cards today. So I'm just going to get us set up and started. So here we've got our materials list, which I hope you guys all saw, and we'll get nice and set up now. And there we go. So I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes while people get sorted and arrive, and we can see here our materials list. So I tried to keep it to things that we have in our homes, so that it's a bit easier for you all to see. Okay, so I see there's 6 of you here. Hi everyone. And I suppose we're going to get started. So we're going to do a couple of nice friendship cards because it's nearly Valentine's Day, and I think it's nice to do Valentine's Day for everyone because I love lots of people, including my friends and my family. So I'm going to make some cards for them. So here we go. We're going to start with a piece of white card. If you don't have card, you can use paper. Just card's a bit easier. And I'm going to do giant cards. So to fold it, we're going to line up the corners beside each other and then fold it along the edge. And there we go. And that's how we make our card. And then if you want to make a smaller card, you can fold it again and line up the corners, and then you'll have a smaller card. So this size card is perfect for putting in envelopes. So that's what you kind of want. So our first card, I was thinking we could draw some bees because bees are a lot of fun to draw. So I'm going to do it on a big card just so you can see what I'm doing. So I'll fold it again. So corner to corner on both sides, here and here, and then we're going to fold it across there. And I've got my nice big card. So I was thinking we would begin with doing some bees because I was talking to a lady called Trish, and she is a 3rd generation beekeeper, which is super cool. So I thought I'd draw a card thinking of her. So I was using this bee as a guide. Don't know if you can see it. I've got a bigger one here. And I like this bee, and I think I'm going to draw something like it, but more of a cartoon. So if any of you watch my videos, I usually start with pencil, and then we go over it with black pen. So we're going to start and do a really happy bee. So we're going to do a big circle for his head, and then another kind of big blob for his body, and that's going to be our main bee. Now I'm going to draw my bee in pen first, but you can draw in pencil and then go over it in pen. But I think pen is just much easier for you to see. So I always like starting with the eyes. So 2 big circles for the eyes. And then I'd like to give him kind of a big, kind of slightly crooked smile. And I'm going to give him a nice big nose. There we go. He's looking good. And I like giving him rosy cheeks. So 3 lines under the eyes, and he's got some rosy cheeks. And then we're going to give him, some little antenna here. So I'm doing the same antenna really that I can see on Trish's bee. Here we go. Colour that in. And now bees, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen kind of bees up close, but they're quite furry. So to make it look furry, we're going to kind of do some zigzags along the whole bee, along all the body. So he's kind of a bit furry, because bees are a bit furry. So we're going to zigzag along the body and break it up a little bit, like this. And I was thinking, since this is kind of Valentine's Day, and you might be sending it to a friend, or maybe, you know, one of your grandparents or your parents, we're going to call it the bee's knees. So we're going to give this bee a leg with a knee here, and then out comes his leg and back up, and then another leg coming here and bring it back up to the body, and then finish off his fuzziness. So those there are the bee's knees. So we're going to make them really obvious like this. Now, he kind of needs some arms, or she, it could be a she. And we're going to give the arms, and they're going to go out like this. But because bees are kind of insects, I've got two. It's going, woohoo, you are the bee's knees. So the arms are up in the air going, hey. Because these cards are always nice to go, yay, I love you, I miss you. So there's the arms. And now bees have stripes, so we better put those stripes in. So here's one black stripe, we'll put it under his chin. And then we're going to colour it in. So I'm just going to colour in like this. And then maybe on the other way as well. This is called cross hatching. And it's quite easy to do. So we'll do another one kind of along here. Nice big one. And here we go. We're going to cross hatch that one in as well. Now, one end and then the other bit. There we go. And one kind of down here as well. And the cross hatching is a really nice way kind of shading in sections. And then I think I'll give this bee a little kind of hat in as well. So I like hats a lot. I'm wearing a hat right now that my mommy knit me. So I always like giving them hats. So there's our bee, and we're missing something. So we're missing his wings. So bees have two sets of wings. So we're going to bring the wings down like this. There's our two wings. And then the other one's here. And then, oh, it's hiding behind his second hand there. And we're going to do another one. There we go. And that is a very cool bee. Now I think I want to do a couple more bees around the place. So if any of you have read Winnie the Pooh, it's one of my favourite books, and A.A. Milne is the man who designed the books. So his bees are kind of like scribbles. So I'm actually going to put them on the inside here. And so you kind of do a bit of a scribble like this, and then you do a circle around it, and two little wings, and that's your bee. And you kind of, if you can scribble in some little lines, and then give it a body. And we've got lots of wee bees buzzing around, having fun. And in here, I'm going to get a big marker in a honey colour. So I'm going to use orange. And we're going to write, you are the bee's knees. And remember, knees has a silent K in it, so it's K-N-E-E-S, I think, unless I've gone mad. And then on the front, I really like my bee, but I think I want to shade him in a bit. So if you remember, I told you to bring some instant coffee if you had it, and a paintbrush and a bit of water. So here I have my instant coffee and my water and my paintbrush. And because not everyone always has paint in their houses, I thought this would be fun to shade them in using a bit of coffee. So I'm going to put a little bit of coffee in here, and then I'm going to use my paintbrush and put some water in here too. Whoop. So sorry if we're making a mess, but sometimes you have to be a bit messy to make some art. So we're going to mix the instant coffee in here, and we're going to get a nice brown. And then we're going to shade in our bee. So we're going to shade in his cheeks a bit. And then we're going to decide maybe kind of to do one side more shaded. So here we go. I'm going to shade him in here. And the black stripes get very nicely shaded. And don't worry if the black ink runs, that happens sometimes. And you can use it as part of your drawing. So here we go. And this makes him look super cool. And then I'm going to colour in the arm. So you might have done some shading with me before if you've done some of the videos I have up on YouTube where we've drawn lots of different animals like pigs and unicorns and llamas, and I really like to shade things in. It's quite fun. So here we go, a bit more down here. And the nice thing about instant coffee is most people have some in their houses. And will we shade in his nose and maybe a bit of his wings? So I want his wings to be lighter, so I'm just going to put my paintbrush in the coffee and then in the water, and then I'm going to shade in his lovely wings. Oh, a little bit more coffee. There we go. Now, and there's our bee. So that is the first card we did, and I think it's quite fun. You can see my marker's running a bit, but it doesn't really matter. It actually makes it look kind of interesting. And that's a great card to send somebody, and then they open it up and they're like, oh, you are the bee's knees. Amazing. So, and that's our first card. Now, I'm just going to see if I can see her comments. I'm not sure if I can. Oh, hi. Hi, Susan. Hi, Elsa. Hi, Lindsay. I think Tara's in there too. Hello, everyone. So we're going to do our second card now. So our second card is going to have to do with the tea bag I told you to bring. Because some people are just your cup of tea. So this one, I am going to do it. Again, a big card because my tea bag is big. So I'm going to fold it again. Remember, line up your corners. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. You know, that's part of the joys of homemade cards. So now what we want to do is we want to basically attach our lovely tea bag to our card. But we don't want to get glue or tape or anything on it. So what I have, I've got some brown paper that I'm going to cut. If you don't have brown paper, you can use white paper and you can paint it with your coffee, or you can use any color paper, but that's my brown paper there. And now, so what I want to do is I'm going to make a giant cup for my tea bag. So it's good to kind of have the tea bag here to know where my cup is going. And I'm going to do the cup backwards. So yeah. Whoop. So I'm going to do curly side up because the curly side is going to stick down in a minute. You'll see what I mean. So mark off where the edges of your tea bag are. And then you're going to know how big your cup has to be. And then you can feel the edges of the card. So it's roughly around here and here and here. I do these in marker actually so you can see it a bit better. But you should do it in pencil. So these are your guides, and this is going to be on the inside, so we know how big the sheet of paper is. There we go. So you can put these aside. Now, we're going to draw a giant mug. So this is my mug. So I have a very giant mug. So that's the kind of mug I want to draw, because I'm drinking my tea. Now, so I'm going to draw my mug, and it's going to come down like this, and then it's whoop, maybe a little less down. There we go. And I think I'm going to end it here, because remember those edges are the edge of the card. Then I'm going to bring it back up, and you want to leave about the space of a grown-up's finger, or maybe if you're not a grown-up, like 2 or 3 fingers between where the tea bag was and where the edge of your cup is. And then we're going to want to do a handle, but remember, make sure the handle doesn't end up going outside the lines of the card. So there we go. So now we have a guideline of our mug. And this is where we're going to start using the scissors. So if you need a grown-up to help you with the scissors, this is when you ask them to please help you with the scissors. So I'm going to cut around the mug with this really difficult to cut curly paper. So I'm going to follow my lines. Whoop. There we go. For the mug. And then this is the base of my mug. Whoop. And let's see if I can, whoa, all over the place. There we are. Then around the edge here, and the other edge here, and then the handle of the mug, so that's a bit more difficult. We're going to cut around. There we go. And then I'm going to cut a hole in the mug, so sometimes it's easy if you kind of fold it over a bit. Again, grown-ups, this is your job. And we're going to cut a little hole there so I can pop the scissors in and then cut around. And you don't have to cut the hole in if you don't want to. You can draw it in if that's a bit too difficult. And there we go. And then, whoop. And if you have flat paper, it's going to be so much easier. It's just my brown paper is in a roll. And there we go. Around the lines. Now, there's our mug. And then again, using pencil, you're going to look at how much the tea bag goes down into the mug, and we're going to mark it off. So that's going to be where the mug goes. Okay? Now, we're going to ignore the tea bag for a bit, and we're going to have a bit of fun with our mug. So we're going to decorate it. Now, one of the things I want to put on my mug is I want to say that you are my cup of tea. So I'm going to write that in now. You are... Oh, actually, no. I'm going to say you are tea-rific. You are tea... Terrific. Now I think I'm going to decorate my mug. Now I'm using markers, but if you have colouring pencils or crayons, crayons are great. I really like crayons. I just don't know where my crayons are at the moment. But I'm going to do a nice design on my mug. There we go. Now, and you can have loads of fun with this. You can make it as complicated or as simple as you like. Or you can copy the design on one of your own mugs. And you can colour it in and try all sorts of different things. And if you really want to spend a long time at this, you can even glue things on it, like little hearts or sequins if you have them in the house or anything. But we're just using simple stuff here because I know most people will have a lot of this stuff in their houses. So we're going to colour that in. There we go. And I'm just using markers because they're a bit quicker, but you can use whatever you want. Now, I love polka dots. So I'm going to do a polka dot cup. So just loads of lovely polka dots all over my mug. Whoop. There we go. And you'll have to tell me how you're decorating your mug. I'd love to know. So here we go. There is our lovely mug. And now we want to put our mug on our card. So this is where the glue stick comes in. And remember we did a guide on the back? Whoop. Well, we're going to be using that guide to tell us where to put the glue. So never glue on the card because you'll get glue on the card. So we're going to glue around the handle, nice and gently, and all over everywhere that isn't the guide. So that little square we drew where the tea bag goes, we don't glue that. There we go. And this is a really good card to give someone who loves tea. So now we're going to stick it on our card like this. And you can keep decorating it if you want. And what happens now is, remember the bit we didn't glue? Let's see if I can show you. Glue it well down. And we should be able to pop it out a bit, see? Right there. And you can actually slide your tea bag into the mug. So there you go. So this is a really good one because it's a present and a card in one, and it's actually a really easy present because I'm sure you can find some tea in the house. And then as well, I've got some lovely herbal teas, so I can like stick one of these in here as well. Look, isn't that lovely? So if you've got like a nice herbal tea, so you can pop it in there. And that's our lovely tea mug saying you are terrific. Now we're going to do another one because we can. And first of all, I'm going to give you a trick. So you're probably going to be doing this on white card, but if you want your cards to look super fancy, the biggest trick out there is just to use coloured card. Now I'm not sure if people have coloured card at home. That's why we've been doing all of ours on white card. So you can do yours on white card, but this one I'm going to do it on blue card for to show you how it looks a bit fancier when you go on a coloured card. So remember I told you guys to get an old piece of newspaper. So we're going to tear some of that. Whoop, and tear some nice strips of paper. I'm sure you've done this before. So, and tearing is so much easier than cutting. So we'll tear maybe 3 strips. 3 strips is good. There we go. Now, so we'll tidy up my desk a bit. It's looking a bit messy, isn't it? Here we go. Get rid of that. And we don't need this or our scissors. Right. Don't need our tea bag either. Now, so here we are. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick these across. So they're going to kind of be like clouds because we're going to do a balloon. So I'm going to stick these down with my glue stick. And make sure you ask if you can tear up the newspaper first before you tear it up in case it hasn't been read yet. And here we go. Here's one there. And then I'm going to do another one here. I'm just going to rip it up a bit so it's a bit more interesting. There we go. That looks kind of cloud-like. And glue that one down too. Here we go. And if they come off the edge, it's fine. You can snip them with the scissors or you can just fold them over. So you can either go whoop, snip, or you can just fold it over. Nobody knows. It's all cool. And we'll do one more kind of up here, I think. There we go. So let's glue it down. Now. Whoop. And now it's raining outside, so these might be kind of rain clouds. So I'm going to get a little bit of my coffee again. Make sure my paintbrush isn't too wet. And I'm just going to do a little bit of darkness on the bottom of the clouds where the shadows are. There we go. Now. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our balloon. So put the top on the glue. And this is where we use some more white card. So I'm going to use a bit of this one here. Just going to make it smaller. Now, I want to do a heart-shaped balloon. So I'm going to draw my heart. Make sure it's nice and big, that it's not too small. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'll use the marker. Let's see. There we go. There's my heart. Now I actually want 2 of these. So I'm going to fold my paper or my card in 2. And then I'm going to cut. Remember, use a grown up if you need one. I'm going to cut around the heart. Now, I'm going to just cut the whole way around so I don't need to worry about the difficult bit. Because this bit here is always quite difficult to cut. So I cut all the way around and then I just cut in one side and then around and in the other side. Oop. Gently does it. There we go. And now I've got 2 lovely hearts. So the first heart, I'm going to paint it pink, or actually I'm going to colour it in pink. So here we go. I'm going to do it with the marker. Now this is a special table. I'm allowed to colour over it, but if you're not, just colour over a scrap piece of paper. So it doesn't matter if you go off the lines. And we're going to colour it all in pink. And there we go. Now, and then we're going to glue the other side of it and stick it in our sky. Whoop. So careful, the glue is sticky, and we'll glue it here in the sky. There we are. Now, that is really nice. Now our second heart, I'm going to colour it in another colour. Let's go for green, because I like green. And this one, you want to colour it in both sides. So I'm not going to colour it in fully, but you can, because I just kind of want to show you how it's done. But we're going to colour it in. And if you want, I mean, you can do patterns in it and stuff like that. I'm just doing one colour, but you can do whatever you like. So we're going to colour it in all green, and then colour it green on the other side. And there we go. Whoop. Oh, Maura was doing flowers and dots. I'm guessing that was on the mug, but I'm not sure. And Elsa liked the coffee mug too, or the tea mug. Hi guys. There we go. And so now we've got our lovely green heart, and what we want to do is we're going to fold it, but we kind of want the middle of it to be flat. So I'm going to use my ruler, and not quite at the middle. I'm actually going to draw a line so you can see. You don't have to draw a line, this is just for me to show you. So all the bit there needs to be flat. So that's where I'm going to fold my heart. So I'm going to whoop, use the ruler and fold it up against the ruler, and then fold it back the other way, and then do the same here. And if you don't have a ruler, just use a piece of cardboard. There we go. So we've got this folded heart. Now I'm going to make it flat again, and I'm going to put glue just in that middle piece. Here we go. Just in the middle bit. And we're going to stick it right on top of our pink heart. Now, there we go. Look at that. That's kind of cool. And now we're going to make our balloon. So, lid on the glue. Do I have black? I have black somewhere. Here we go. So we're going to draw one line coming down here, and one line coming down here. And then we're going to draw our balloon basket. So there we go. I'm going to make my basket nice and big. And then balloons often have bags of sand attached to them, so that if you want to go higher, you let go of the sand, and that's a lot of weight gone. And then I might just, I think it's going to be like a wicker basket. So I'm going to do some lines on the side. And we need somebody in the basket, so we're going to do a circle for the head, and that's going to be the body. And then they're waving, so we're going to have an arm coming out like this saying hello. And we're just going to fill it in, all in blacks. They're so far away we can't tell the details. And then the other arm is coming down here, and they're waving. And now, there you go. That is your lovely balloon in the sky card. So that's a nice one to give to someone as well. And I'll show you, this is one I actually did practice earlier, and this is on white, and this has got a little blue heart on it. And you can see that sometimes cards look a bit fancier when they're on coloured paper. So now we've got 2 more that we're going to do. And one of them is going to be with a lot of cutting out. So if you need a grown-up, make sure they're here. And I'm going to get some more card. So, there we go. folded in half. Now if you want them to go in envelopes, they're going to need to be folded again. And if you want to make them into postcards, you can just use that square piece. So you can ask a grown-up to cut it for you. I'm just going to do this quickly to show you how to do a postcard. There we go. And when they're this size, you do your picture on the front, and then on the back you leave a space here, and we're going to put the stamp there, and the address goes here, and you can write "thinking of you" or whatever on the other side. So these can be postcards as well. Now back to our new card. So we're going to use brown paper again, and we're going to use white card, and we're also going to use some newspaper. So let's find a page with some text on it. There we go. So what I want to do with this is I'm going to make a lot of different size circles. So I'm just going to take a bit of tea. Now I'm going to actually use my teacup to make a circle. There we go. That's a nice size circle. And then I think I'm going to use my hand sanitizer for another circle. Here we go. Just trace around it. And then I want some smaller circles. So I have a glass here, and I'm going to make my smaller circle out of brown paper. If I can find my brown paper. Hold on. Here it is. So more circles. There we go, with brown paper, and then an even smaller circle on the newspaper. So it doesn't matter which ones you're using, as long as you're just doing lots of circles. And they don't have to be perfect circles either. So we have a lot of circles there. We should probably start cutting them out. So let's get going. So they can be as perfect or as messy as you want. And you can make kind of maybe 5 or 6 circles all together in different sizes. So there's my brown paper circle. I'm going to move these out of the way. There we go. And my white circle. And if you have coloured card or coloured paper, you can make those into circles as well. Here we go. How's everyone doing? Hi Bree. Hi Magda. And newspaper circles. And you can also use old Christmas cards if they haven't been thrown out yet, or if they're not being kept, or any magazines or anything for this. It's just quite nice to use different types of paper and card for it. So here we go. Ooh, make sure you can see what I'm doing. There's another one. Oop. And another one. So I'm hoping to have 5 altogether. So this is 4. So I might make an even bigger circle in a second. There we go. And get that out of the way. And I'm going to use my tape to make my bigger circle. Oop. I'm making an absolute mess where you can't see it, just so you know. So if you're making a big mess, don't worry about it. It's not a messy mess. We're not using paint. And oh, that's a very big circle, isn't it? Well, we'll see how it goes. So we're going to cut that one out. Whoop. Nice big circle. There we go. So wrapping paper and brown paper is always a bit difficult to use because it curls up, see? But it doesn't matter. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lovely circles. So I think the big one, I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to kind of do some textures on it. So we're going to go like this. Oh. Lots of triangles. See if we can take them out. Oh, there we go. Lots of wee triangles because we're making a flower. In case, I probably forgot to tell you, but we're making a flower. There we go. Oop, watch your fingers. Get grown-ups to do it if you need to. And there we are. So, and if you guys are making these cards, I would love to see photos of them, because the nice thing with cards is that everyone's looks different because you've got your own kind of artistic flair to it, which is always nice. There we go. Now, so that looks good. Might do another one in here. Oop. Now, so that's our first one. So where's my lovely card now? Here it is. So I like that one a lot. So it's kind of, you see the way it's kind of coming up? That's good. So we just going to put some glue on it, but we're only going to put glue right in the middle here. So that's where the glue goes. Now, the more time you spend at these, the more kind of like exact you can make them as well. So there's the middle bit. Now, let's put this bit next. So we're going to put that in the middle and stick it in there. And I'm actually going to put a little bit of coffee on it. I really like coffee on, here we go. We did that earlier for the bee cards. We're going to just, and the nice thing about coffee is that it makes everything look really old. So it makes this paper from last week look like it's from like weeks and weeks ago. There we go. And then we're going to put the white paper next. Now I actually want to do some little wavy bits on the white paper, so I'm going to go like this. Whoop. So it's not a perfect round. And nice and wavy. I'm going to fold it up a bit, or roll it around my Pritt stick, actually. That's a good idea. See, so it pops up a little. Then we put our glue. There it goes. And then the brown one, I like it as it is. And if you have buttons in the house, I don't have any spare buttons, but if you had a button and some really strong glue, you could put a button in the very middle. Now, I don't have a button, so I'm going to draw a little flower in the very middle. So, there we go. And we're going to give our flower a nice stem coming down, and then it's in a nice field with loads of grass. Whoop. And remember our lovely Winnie the Pooh style A.A. Milne bees? We're going to do some of those. So scribble, 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 and give it a bit of a body and 2 wings, and there's our bee. So again, scribble, 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 bit of a body, whoop, whoop, scribble, 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 and I think that's lovely. 3 lovely bees and a flower. So we're going to do one more card after that. So that's a really nice one. And then you can do as many layers as you want, and different kind of sizes of circles. Or you can do lots of tiny flowers as well. So this is kind of a smaller flower. I kind of prepared earlier just in case I wasn't able to do it, but I was. So that was cool. And then, so our last card is going to be a very cool card. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on black paper. So that's the card I made on black paper, and I'm going to show you how to do it, but on white card, because just in case you don't have black card. And that's, I used black card and brown card and a silver Sharpie, but not everyone has all of those things, so we are going to do it on a white card. So we're going to do it nice and big. So here's our card. Remember, folding it down corner to corner. There we go. Now, so our heart needs to fit in this. So the first thing we're going to do is get some card. Now I've got some nice strong stiff card. This is from a Weetabix box. And I'm going to just cut out, or I'm actually going to tear out the piece I need. There we go. Now, so my heart needs to be around kind of this size would be a good size, because see, that's the size of the card, fits over that, so that works. And I'm going to make a nice big one. So there's my heart. Now, an easy way to do this is actually fold your heart along the edges. Remember, when we fold cardboard, it's way easier to use a ruler. And then fold at the other end. And we're just going to follow that bit of the heart here when we cut it out. So here we go. And cardboard is a little bit tougher. So just go gently. So see, I'm not quite following the line, but it's okay. Nothing needs to be absolutely perfect. It's better to get it done. A very wise woman called Tara told me that. Done is better than perfect. There we go. Here's our heart. So that is called a stencil. And what we're going to do is, before we stencil it down, we're going to get something like we've done here with the brown paper. So you can use colored paper. We have newspaper or brown card, whatever you like. I'm going to use brown card because I really like brown card. So I'm going to get my ruler again. And I want it kind of, that thickness is kind of nice. So just do it out there. And it doesn't need to be the whole length of the card. So maybe up to around here. And then we're going to cut it out. Now this card is really cool because you can make lots and lots of them in a short amount of time. Once you've set up all the bits you're going to use, it's quite a quick card to do. So we're going to cut around. Now this time we're going to make sure that the marker is not in it, because we're going to be able to see that on the card. So just cut on the inside of the marker line. There we go. And then here. And on the inside of that marker line. And yeah, you can use a picture from a magazine which has nice colours, or you can use old Christmas cards or anything you want for this. It's just to kind of make the card look a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to glue it down. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to line up the edge of this card with the edge of this card. Now, there we go. Just roughly. And glue it down. So there's our little random piece of card. And now we're going to use our stencil. Now again, you can use markers or you can use crayons, would look really good on this. Colouring pencils will be a bit more work, but you can also use colouring pencils. I'm going to use red for this because it's a big heart. Now, keep your stencil still by keeping your hand on it. And we're going to start in the corner here. And we're just going to go around some of the edge up to about there. And then we're going to bring it back here. See? And then, because what we want to do is we want to do a zigzag like this, but the stencil is going to stop us from going further than we want to go. And then, there we go. So, zigzag it. Now, I'm going always this way because it's hard. If I go like this, the edge of the card kind of makes me wobble. So that's why I'm kind of joining them up that way. Now, we're getting close to the edge, so just hold it down. Here we go. Now, because we've gotten to the edge, we're just going to keep going, woo, all the way over. Now, and we're going to keep going. Now, don't forget about that empty space. We're going to come back to it in a second. So it gets way easier to do now. So even if you didn't want to stick the piece of cardboard, you don't have to. And then when we get to the end, Whoop, there we go. And we come back here and we go like this and zigzag it there. And now we take it up and we have a gorgeous heart. Isn't that lovely? So that's what I've done here. And see, this looks fancy because it's black card and it's silver marker. But it still looks super fancy like this as well, I think. And you can do it with paint as well. And that is our last card. That went way quicker than I thought it would. I hope I didn't talk too fast, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to post this video up afterwards so you can kind of like go back over it. So we did that lovely card, and we did this lovely card, and I've gone and not quite lost all the other ones. Oh yeah, we did the cup of tea one, just missing its tea bag, the tea-rific. And we made our balloon in the sky card and our bee card where you're the bee's knees. And so if you have some time in the next couple of weeks, it'd be nice to like make some cards for people we're not seeing at the moment and post them, because it's always nice to get stuff in the post. I really love getting stuff in the post. And I'm always trying to, you know, figure out new fun things I can send people that they'll be happy with. So there you go. Now, I know that Tara is watching, and I haven't forgotten that she's asked me to draw a pig in a suit, and I will be doing that soon, I promise. And if there's anybody else watching who would like me to draw something and show you how to draw, let me know. And you can find all of those videos on my website at madjessie.com. And there's loads of videos, both for kids to draw, but there's also ones for grown-ups for kind of mindful colouring in and drawing. And yeah, so that's it. So listen, have a lovely, lovely afternoon. Have fun making things, and hopefully talk to you guys soon. Lindsay, yes, I will definitely put pictures of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different designs on my page. And yippee, says Tara. That's awesome to hear. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it, especially as this was my first live. And big thanks to everyone who helped me out getting ready. So thanks for watching. And I'm now going to try and figure out how to turn this off. So you might see my face for a second. Oh, there's some nice close-ups of our lovely cards. Okay, bye guys. Talk to you soon. And let me know how you got on. Bye, bye, bye.